I was standing in their marble entryway, my coat still on, my hands folded like I was asking permission to exist, when I realized they had already decided who I was worth. Not by my name, by my shoes. My son's mother-in-law glanced down first, a half-second pause, then the smile thinned. His father-in-law didn't bother hiding it. He looked past me, scanning the room, as if waiting for someone more important to arrive. That was the moment I knew dinner would be educational for them. I never told my son about my monthly $40,000 salary. I didn't hide it out of shame, I hid it out of control. I live simply. Same car for 10 years, same apartment, no designer labels, no staff. Money, when it comes easily, should move quietly. That's what my late husband taught me before he died and left me the kind of portfolio people kill for and never see. My son grew up seeing me choose peace over polish. He thought I was comfortable. He didn't know I was powerful. When he married, I stayed in my lane. I congratulated them. I sent a modest gift. I didn't interfere. Then he invited me to dinner with his wife's parents. He sounded nervous, too careful, as if he was hoping I'd perform. I decided to test something instead. I dressed down. Old coat, sensible shoes, no jewelry except my wedding band. I let my hair go gray months ago. I rehearsed being invisible. I wanted to see how they'd treat a poor person. The table was long, white linen, crystal glasses already set. The mother-in-law asked what I used to do, stressing the past tense. Accounting, I said, not a lie, just incomplete. Oh, she replied, immediately bored. They talked around me, real estate, schools, connections. The father-in-law bragged about building everything from scratch, which I knew from 5 minutes of quiet listening meant inheriting most of it and polishing the story. My son tried to include me. They talked over him, too. The real betrayal wasn't their cruelty, it was my son's silence. He saw it, he felt it, and he let it continue because correcting them would have been inconvenient. That's when the ache turned cold. I didn't snap, I observed. I watched how the mother-in-law corrected the waiter but ignored me, how the father-in-law asked my son questions, then answered them himself, how they praised their daughter for marrying well, while looking at me like I was a liability. I smiled. I ate slowly. I remembered names. By dessert, I had already started planning. I don't do revenge impulsively. I do it legally, quietly, permanently. Over the next 2 weeks, I learned everything. Their company filings, their debts, their dependence on a private trust they believed would never move against them. It was my trust, set up years ago, indirect, untouchable, owning 76% of their holding company through layered entities so clean it looked like institutional fog. They had no idea who controlled it. I did. I also updated my will. Clean lines, clear consequences. Then I waited. The call came on a Thursday. "You're outdated," the father-in-law hissed over the phone, irritated I hadn't returned his earlier message fast enough. "We're done here," I replied quietly. "Understood." That was the moment the trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. One question filled the room. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? I attended that meeting. Different coat, same woman. The looks on their faces were priceless. Recognition blooming too late. Power shifting mid-breath. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't gloat. I simply introduced myself. The mother-in-law went pale. The father-in-law tried to speak. Failed. My son stared at me like he was seeing color for the first time. I laid out the vote, the restructuring, the new leadership. Then I turned to my son. I wanted to see how they'd treat me, I said. Now you see how they treated themselves. Silence is very loud when it's deserved. Afterward, there were apologies, excuses, invitations to talk things through. I declined. Power doesn't negotiate with disrespect. My son apologized last. It was real. It hurt him to say it. That mattered. I told him I loved him. I told him love doesn't mean protection from consequences. We're rebuilding, slowly, honestly. As for them, They lost the company, the image, the certainty, all because they mistook simplicity for weakness. I still live the same way, same car, same apartment, but now they know, and I sleep perfectly.